Hey, it's Friday. Hey guys, if you've managed to turn up, that's really cool. And I'm running this by myself tonight, so if you see me looking all over the place, I've got my laptop sitting down here and my big screen, so I'm just making sure that you can see me and then I can see what you're seeing and seeing as the questions come through, and yeah, we'll go from there. So bear with me, technology can be a little bit of a pain in the you-know-what. Also tonight I went and made some notes for me to follow because I have a tendency to go off track because I get really into what I'm teaching, and my printers run out of ink tonight, so I've actually got the notes on my laptop. So if I look away at the screen, please don't think that I'm, you know, not that fussed with what we're doing and looking away. I'm actually just yeah, having a look and see what notes I've got. So what we might do is just give it a couple more, like another minute, and just see how many other people are going to jump on. I do know that a few people are going to be late or will have to watch it at a later date. So that's cool because this is fully recorded. So apologies in advance if there's a little bit of swearing happening. So this is my first time on a Google Live Hangout and YouTube, so I'm used to doing webinars, so this is a new experience. So yeah, bear with me, but I'm really excited, and I think we'll just jump straight in. So hopefully you all know who I am. My name's Nat, Natalie Tolliff, and I'm the creator of Catapult Your Career. And tonight I want to share with you 4 simple steps that you can get off this live hangout and go and implement straight away. It's really important for me to be able to give you real information tonight, and how I am with you right now is exactly how I am with all my clients, my friends, my family, my kids, and my husband, though I probably yell at him a little bit more than anyone else. But anyway, how you see me tonight is exactly how I am. So I want tonight to be really real, and if you have any questions, then chuck them up in the chat or Facebook them and they'll come through. But I've got my eyes on 2 computers to make sure that I'm giving you good viewing pleasure, and because I've got my script in front of me so I don't go off track as I do. So welcome if you've just come on. I see there's a couple more viewers jumped on, so that's really cool. So as I said, tonight I'm going to give you some really practical steps, hopefully some new stuff that you haven't thought of. And my philosophy, I know I do have some quite controversial points, so there may be some things tonight that I touch on that you will love, or that you're going to say, look, no, I'm not into that. That's cool. Okay, so tonight's all about sharing, and the format is I'm going to tell you a little bit about my story. I'm going to give you some 4 simple steps that you can go get off and use straight away and implement over the weekend or Friday if you're in the US. Then I'm going to open the floor for some Q&A. I've had some questions come in this afternoon already, and so I've built my script around answering some of these questions. So hopefully I'll be able to cover all the questions. If not, yeah, drop me a Facebook and I'll pick it up from there. Cool. So what we'll do is we'll get straight in. So welcome everyone. So what I want you to know is that what I teach, and I do it because I want all women to really know what it's like to experience a job that you love. And I know that sounds a little bit simple, and what I mean by that is when you're in a job that you love, but that you're bloody good at, you feel fantastic, and the rest of your life falls into place because you're happy and you feel on purpose. And that's what I'm all about. I don't want you going to go find a job because you've got to go back to work after having children because you've got to pay the bills, full stop. Like, I get you've got to pay the bills. I've got 2 kids. I get we've all got bills. What I'm saying to you is your time's precious, and it's really important for you to be in a job that really makes you feel good. And when you start to understand this philosophy, you'll start to look for jobs in a different way. You'll be less reactive. You'll be in a more of a planning approach. So there's a lot of at the moment, there's a lot of women who are going to work for themselves. They're entrepreneurs, they're starting small businesses. But for me, and I've just stepped into building my own business. And for me, that's really cool. But I also get that there's a lot of you out there who aren't interested in, you know, running your own business or being a small business owner. And for me, it's really important that we've still got amazing women, managers, supervisors who are in our current society who absolutely love what they do. So my message for you tonight is to make sure that you do what you love. And look, let's face it, you spend over 70% of your time at work, you know, and if it's in a job in a place that you dislike and you're traveling for hours and hours and you're not in love with it, you need to stop. Bottom line, you need to stop. Because if you're not happy, then you aren't fulfilling what you should be doing at work anyway. So that's where it kind of gets real. I just want to check that I'm making sure I've touched on all my viewpoints and I'm not going off track too much. So what I'm all about is that when you're doing something that you love, and you might be thinking, Nat, that's what I want, but I can't get it. No one's looking at my CV. I don't know where to start. It's too hard to find a new job because the job market is really hard. Did I not know that? Guys, what I'm going to share with you tonight is some really cool news that once you shift your mindset and use a technique that's it's proven to work. So many of my clients have used it, that you'll get really excited and you'll start to look for different opportunities that you probably didn't think about because of a new knowledge that I'm going to share with you tonight. So the trickle effect of not being in a job that you love is that you become grumpy, you are focused on being unhappy, and unhappiness brings tiredness, and with tiredness brings bad eating. Bad eating brings more tiredness, which means you don't want to exercise, and then you start to fall in a really bad pattern of life's too hard, I'm tired, I'm really busy, I just can't be bothered. And then you start believing these stories you have in your head. And then when you go to job search, believe it or not, whether you like it or not, this is what you're putting out. If you're not, this is where it gets a little bit controversial, where I can be a little bit controversial. I believe your body is a direct representation of where you are right now in your head. So what that means is that if you are not physically healthy and strong and fit, and you're not feeding your body the correct nutrients that it needs, then how are you able to work 100% in the job you're currently in? How are you able to be full in your life if you're not treating yourself properly? You know, some people aren't into this part of what I teach, but for me, I feel that I'm a little living proof of that. It's when I started to get fit and healthy and really treat myself or put myself first, above my kids, above my job, above my husband, above everything. As soon as I started to get fit and eat properly, my career catapulted. And that's where it starts with. It starts with you. So if you're in a bad space, you're going to create more bad spaces. If you're negative and tired, you're going to attract negative and tired. So that's what I want to touch on tonight. So a little bit of my journey is that I've spent a lot of time working with graduates. So they spend a lot of time studying, they've been at school, they've come into doing diplomas, they're about to hit the job market, and they don't even know why they're unique. They don't even know how they can bring value to a job. But what I found is that it's not just graduates, it's all of us. And it's how we've been taught, and it's a little bit like how we appreciate and think about money, how we were taught, my age group especially, about how to find a job, is that if you work hard and put a really good CV together and put it out in the application, then you'll get a good job and you'll pay the bills. Well, I call some BS to that. So let's just get straight into it. I was going to talk to you a little bit about my story, but I've just put out a video on my story and what my career journey was. But as I said, I've just stepped out of a job in corporate, and that was helping graduates land jobs, and that was really, really fulfilling for me. And that's why I gave up my day job to come and help women, in particular, help them find work, because I know how to get a job. I know how to get you a job. You've got to put it in action. I can give you the steps. But what I really, really want to teach you is to get a job that you love, that actually fulfills you, because man, life is really, really short. It's too short to be pissing around. I don't know if I can say that. It's not the F word. We'll roll with it. Okay, so we're going to go through 4 steps. If I can count 4 steps, like I'm not an accountant. That step 1 is mindset. And before I get into that, I just want to touch over that most of us are led to believe that the job market is tough. Okay, that's what we're led to believe. That's what your peers, that's what your family, that's probably what your colleagues say, that's what you think. Now, depending on your technical approach and your mindset, I can tell you without a shred of doubt that's not true. I'll repeat, the job market isn't hard or tough. That's the story that you're telling yourself. We'll go more into this. So what you want out, what you've got to do is you've got to get crystal clear, create a plan, and take some action. And that's what I'm going to be showing you, the real way that employers hire. And it's really simple. And I know that it's going to be a massive eye-opener for you tonight. And at the end, I'm going to tell you about my new Express program, which I'm really excited about, that I know will really catapult your career and change your whole job searching experience if it's a fit for you. Okay, so mindset, let's get into it. Welcome to everyone who's here. So, as I mentioned before, without a doubt, your body is a reflection of where you are right now. And if you're, Friday night on the couch, like, I'm not saying you're not allowed to relax. On the couch, it's fish and chips, it's lolly time, and you've been feeding your body like that for a really long time and not doing much about it, you've probably fallen into some routines in your head too. And the problem with that is your whole mannerisms, your dress, your attitude encompass what your body's got out front. And your current boss, and that's if you're employed, your current boss will be able to see that too. So if you're looking to promote and get noticed, they're going to be noticing, and they're going to be noticing your physical and appearance first. And I'm not saying that you've got to go and become a supermodel and lift weights and do all this crazy stuff. All I'm saying to you is that you have to put yourself first, get some sleep, eat some real food, and just get some movement in you, because you'll bring a whole new energy to your current boss and prospective bosses. And by moving energy around in your head, you'll start to think. And by thinking, you'll start to see new opportunities. So you've got to be careful what you're also telling yourself. Your self-talk is huge, huge, huge for your mindset. So if you've been job searching for a while and you're getting no's, you're probably taking it personally. But what you've got to start doing is stepping back from that and looking at why you're getting those no's. They're not saying, listen, Nat, you're so bad and useless and you're not suitable. They're not saying to you personally that you're no good. So you've got to stop making stories up in your head, which is what's going to be happening if you're not keeping yourself active and keeping yourself fit, eating healthy and getting a lot of sleep. You'll start to create some stories in your head. And I want you to think about the last time you felt really strong, happy and content. And content when you're in the moment and you're feeling really happy. And you may have felt attractive, but I want you to get into the feeling that you felt strong, you felt confident. And in those moments, what did you attract? Because when you have that energy around you, more people are going to talk to you. You're going to want to talk to more people, and your whole mannerisms and demeanor and activity will increase in momentum. And you'll start to get feel good back, positive vibes back, positive constructiveness back, and that just creates a whole new set for you. And I don't want you to think that I'm talking about the materialistic appearance. It's just that you've got to be really, hey, I see there's a few more viewers just joined us. So hi everyone, you probably think I've gone all kooky, wacky if you've stepped in. And we were just talking about some mindset. It's my first step in the simple steps in landing your dream job, and it's about mindset. And if you aren't looking after you, and if you aren't being the best version of yourself mentally and physically, then that comes across when you're talking to employers, when you're talking to your circle of friends who will be able to help you get into work. You've got to be in your peak performance like an athlete. It's simple. Anyway, I feel like I'm veering off, so I'm just going to check my notes. And so welcome to everyone who's got here. So I also believe that as women, hi any men if you're on here, that our society is unfortunately breeding templates. And what I mean by that is CV templates, cover letter templates. Even though they definitely have their place, somewhere along the line, you have to realize that an employer hires a person, okay? So a CV is just a tool and one way for you to show someone your uniqueness and how you can solve their problems. So society's bred templates in the sense that we've become so busy that we're busy being busy, we forget that we're busy, and we kind of fall into a reset of, I'll just Google a template. Oh, I'm too tired, it's Friday night, I'm just going to get takeaways. I just need a job to pay my bills. I'll go and do anything. I don't care what it is, I'll do anything. So we've forgotten to smell the roses, you know, that we've planted. We've lost a little bit of balance because we're in a world where you can be pre-cut apple slices. And if you're not careful, you will just become a cookie cutter, a template. And if you want to land your dream job, or you want a promotion where you currently are, or you're being at home with the kids and you want to get back out into the workforce, or you're just a little bit sick of your old job, you have to start with your mind first. Because what you believe is what creates your opportunities. So we're just sticking to my notes, people, so I don't keep going off track. So what I mean by that is, if you're job searching and in life, if something's getting hard and you feel you're getting a bit sweaty, it's just difficult, you're getting no's, and you just throw the towel in, at some stage of your life, you've just decided to tell yourself that when things get tough, you're just going to stop doing it. And that's where your thermostat is in your head, and that you've got to keep pushing through that thermostat to get and achieve things. And in my Express program, I go more and more into this mindset where we all have these set beliefs in our head, and that's how we view life through them. You know, it may be that you were told as a child that you'd never be able to do that. So your whole life, without you knowing it, you've always thought that the whole time, I could never have a job like that because, and then you tell yourself a story that you sit there and you believe. And so at the moment, most of you are probably believing that it's too hard to get the job you really want because there's not really that many part-time jobs now for stay-at-home mums. I call bullshit on that too. And I know I've sworn this is the second time, but it's pretty, apologise. So what I mean by that is, in your head, you're telling yourself that because you've been told the job market's too hard and that you couldn't possibly have what you wanted. And in your head, you're thinking you're not worth it. So this is where you've got to start with your mindset. And this is where I want you to go back to the job that you choose is a vehicle in which you experience your life. So make sure that the vehicle you're in is the one you want to be driving. So for you to create, I actually forgot for a minute that I was in the video there and just like really nicely wipe my nose. I want you to start creating new habits. And by creating new habits, this will help you to start to see where your head's become a little bit lazy. You know, like when you get up and you brush your teeth and you use the same hand for the last 40 years of your life. I want you to get up tomorrow morning and you use your left hand, because you know what? It's going to make you start thinking a little bit differently. And you'll think I'm a little bit crazy because you'll go do it tomorrow morning and probably stick it up your nose because you're programmed to do it with this hand. And your programming is stopping you getting the results that you're looking for at the moment because you've got some tunnel vision going on. So I want to give you some steps to stop that. And I know some of the stuff I'm going to tell you, you're going to be like, nah, that's so like bumper sticker, but you know what? It works. I'm proof that it works. I do this stuff, and I tell you what, the last 5 years of my life since I've had my daughter have been amazing, have been epic. And if you want to check out my story, then jump on my website and you'll see it there. So the first thing I want you to do is you've got to write down your goals. I know, I can hear you all going, oh, for God's sake, this goal setting stuff. Look, a goal can be as simple as, I'm going to get a job that I love. The job is going to make me feel this way and that way. If you don't have the specifics at the moment, don't worry about that. Just get something down, write it down. What do you want? You know, you're only here for a really short time. You know, you've got to go hard, you've got to play hard. Don't wait for something monumental in your life to happen for you to suddenly go, oh, you know what, damn. Oh, I should have been doing what I wanted the whole time. I want you to write some goals down. These are really, really important. I write my goals down. I've got a year goal, I have 2 yearly goals, a business and a personal goal. And sometimes I get specific about them, but the fact that they're written down on my computer and in my wallet is huge, because it means that that's what keeps me going. If your goal is to get a job to help pay the bills with your husband so that you can save for a family holiday, write it down. You've got to write this stuff down. Number 2, what would be really cool, because with the end of the year coming up, is to create a vision board. I know, it's another cliche thing to do, but guys, this works. It's proven physics and laws that your mind and your manifestation and of what you think about, because you get what you think about. You get what you think about. And if you're thinking about what you want and the goals, how it makes you feel, and you have a vision board of a beautiful garden with some flowers and someone that you want to meet, doing a job that you love, and you've got happy children and you're happy, what's so wrong with that? You know what? We live a really blessed life. Look at where we live. I mean, absolutely, look at what we get to do. And I know that you may be feeling a little bit, you know, a little bit depressed if you are really trying to find it hard job searching. But I can tell you now, it's the way that you're letting your mind think. And this is where part of my private coaching comes in to help you with your mindset and your affirmations. So the third thing I want you to start doing, I'm actually just going to grab it, is keep a gratitude journal. Every day, that's gratitude journal. Every day I write in this. Every day. And I write in it and I start with, I'm so happy and grateful now. And I just write. I don't put any dear diary, blah, blah, blah. I don't put any restrictions around what I write. Some days it's freaking hard. Some days I'm like, you know what? I've had a shit day. The kids have been this, da-da-da. But you know what? I sit there and I find something to be grateful about. I've got food, I've got water, I live in paradise, there's no war, I've got a roof over my head. The more gratitude you have, the more you get. And the more you practice this habit of gratitude, before you know it, you're freaking happy all the time. That doesn't mean to say that you don't have a bad day. It just means you spend less time having a bad day, because then you become grateful for the experience. Another cool thing to do that I often do is you get an accountability partner. So you find a friend who knows that you're wanting to get a promotion, go back to work after the kids, looking at, changing jobs. So find a friend who you know will kick your butt. Because you don't want to have a friend who's going to collude with you and go, oh, you know what, it's okay. It's okay that you didn't go and, do what you said you were going to do last week. I know you were tired and da-da-da. You want someone who's going to be like, what are your goals this week? What did you achieve? Why didn't you achieve it? What can we do to get you there? An accountability partner is one of the best things I did. And we kind of did a little, every 2 weeks, we'd get together on a Thursday night from like 7 to 8 at night, and we'd sit there and say, what is it we were trying to achieve? Honestly, since I've done that, life has changed dramatically. So, and it just means you get out of that Monday to Friday, 9 till 5, this is life and this is what you need to be doing. You get a job to pay the bills. And this is life. White picket fence and a dog and a husband and kids. I mean, far out, that's freaking awesome. But you know what? At some stage, it's got to be about you and your impact you have on the world. I've actually gone off to the tangent, but I just speaking from the heart to you. So cool. Gratitude journal, accountability partner. Next one's one of my favorites. It's called Automate, Delete, Delegate. So, and especially this time of year, we're all really busy, right? And you aren't Superwoman. Believe it or not, you are not Superwoman. So stop trying to do it all. So if you have to delegate some jobs to someone else in your family, whether it's the kids that they start picking up their own stuff, making their lunches, making their beds, or ask your husband to, hey, can we start doing things a little bit more together? Or you're able to get a cleaner, whatever. Just, you need to start delegating some of your stuff out, some of your running of the house out, so that you've got a clearer mind to be able to put yourself first. Because when you put yourself first, we can start to then open your mind up. That gets more opportunities, and you stop knee-jerking reactions when you're job hunting. Okay, that's what I'm trying to get you at. And it might be you need to stop doing some stuff. That's where the delete comes in. Are you doing some activities that you should just stop? And then you just wouldn't be busy for being busy for the sake of being busy? Yeah, so try and think of some things that you can delete from your life. Automate, this is a really cool one. It may be that for the rest of this month, it's crazy busy. So you order your groceries online, so you don't have to stress about going to the supermarket. It may be that you sit down once and for all and automate all your bills. Stuff like that. It may be that you go through and unsubscribe from, not mine though, don't unsubscribe from mine, that you go and unsubscribe to a whole lot of your newsletters that you're not really interested in, not reading, and it just fills your inbox and you feel a little bit overwhelmed. So these are just some new habits that you could start using to start moving you forward. Because if you start branching out and doing some new actions that you're not used to doing, you start growing some new little neurons in your head, and you're more open and susceptible to new opportunities because you'll be thinking differently. Let's get straight into some job action. So step 1 was mindset, which we just went over. Step 2 is the truth. We will be stopping for questions soon. I'll just jump into the chat roll and see if there's anything there. No, nothing there yet. That's cool. So, the truth. I'm hoping I can share my screen with you tonight because I've got a triangle that I want to share with you. I call it the Truth Triangle. It's a fancy name. It's a fancy for showing you the real way that employers hire. And I want you to think about, if you're an employer, would you be really excited about writing an advert, paying a lot of money for it to go online, and then would you feel really excited about having 100 CVs that are thrown together and sent to you? Are you really excited about having to troll through those? Probably not. So This is where the truth starts to come in. I'm just going to see if I can share my screen with you. I should be able to. Bear with me, please, callers. I see we've got another couple of viewers on. Hey, you've missed the first bit, but that's okay. We've recorded. But now we're into the nitty gritty, so hopefully I can help you out. I've got a cup of tea, by the way. I'm not sure what any of you have got. I know. I probably should have had a wine, but I would have gone way more off track. Okay, so hopefully you're thinking of awesome questions while I share my screen. Oh, there it is. Start screen share. This technology is great. Okay, so what you can see here is I haven't actually presented this slide, but this is in how do employers like to hire? And if you look at the top here, hopefully you can, not sure if you can see my cursor. If you look at the top of the triangle, you'll see that employers start their employment process. If an application comes up, they start with hiring from within the company. So that means that they haven't looked outside the company yet. They're going to look in their company and see who can do the job that's currently in the company. Okay, so better the devil they know. Okay, and then they go and talk to someone that a colleague recommends. They might go to a supervisor or manager and say, do you know of anyone within the business or someone in your professional network or a family member or a friend who would be interested in these jobs? That is what that means. Then the third one down is they meet someone by accident. Basically, that is networking. So they may have gone to a networking breakfast, an event, a speaking gig. They may have gone to a family barbecue, a friend's barbecue. They may have talked to someone on the bus. This is literally bumped into someone and met someone by accident. Then, listen guys, this is even before the job has hit Seek. Okay, this is even before they've written and paid for an advert. They then may go to an employment agency because they still can't find someone, and an employment agency costs a lot of money. If they then can't find someone, they will chuck a job advert online. Okay, then they will read a CV. So what this triangle highlights is that, oh cool, a question's come through. Oh, awesome question, guys. I'll answer that for you in just a sec. That's cool. So what this truth triangle represents is that most job seekers start at the bottom, and you all go and write a general CV and you throw it out into the online world and it's a little bit like going fishing without any bait. You're kind of hoping that something's going to come along and bite. Now, as this triangle represents to you, what I'm hoping it represents to you is that 85, I really hope you're sitting down because this statistic's freaking awesome, 85% of jobs are not advertised. 85% of jobs are not advertised. Okay, now we know this because why? Because an employer hires within first. They talk to a colleague for a recommendation, or they've met someone by accident through networking. This is fact, guys. This is the truth. And I can guarantee that most of you will spend 90% of your job searching time pushing your general CV into the online world. So if you can imagine, if all of you are doing that, you're all fighting for a very, very small amount of jobs. And you, this is where I get excited. And you are only seeing 15% of the jobs, 20% of the jobs. So you think there's not enough jobs out there. This is facts, guys. This is absolute fact. So the next time someone says to you and validates the story in your head that job hunting is hard and there are no jobs out there, the next time you feel that, I want you to remember this statistic. because it's not true. 85% of jobs are not advertised. An employer does not start with a CV, but job seekers do. So you know what? You've got to stop starting with your CV. Okay? You have to start thinking about, are you currently in a job that you can be looking at growing up in? Are you in a job that you've got fantastic networks that you can start talking to? That kind of thing. You need to stop with your CVs. Okay, I'm going to stop sharing my screen with you. We'll jump off here. Oh, cool. Got a little excited about that. I love the truth triangle. The truth triangle really, really, really floats my boat because it's the damn honest truth. And yeah, you know, you might, once you start thinking this new way of job hunting, you look, by all means, your CV can definitely get you a job by throwing it out there cold. I'm not saying that, but I'm saying that it's a little bit harder and a little bit more stressful to do that unless you're really clued up on who you are and how you're damn good at something. That your CV is so concise that you can prove that you can solve that employer's problem. Your CV's got to be bloody good, but that means you're bloody good and you know you're good because you've got confidence. So this is where we've got to get your mind sorted first. So let's keep on tracking. Just going to go back to my notes so I don't keep jumping off. Okay, so that's the truth. Now you know the truth. So I'm going to show you another underutilized strategy, and that is raving fans. So you're like, nah, you've actually gone mad in this whole live Q&A. Raving fan means a reference. Okay, so on a CV, you've got a reference. Oh, cool, so-and-so, my past employer, or so-and-so, they can give you a reference. You don't want someone who's just going to give you a reference. You want someone who's going to go, Nat, yes, fantastic. She worked for me 2 years ago. You actually want them to rave about you. And this is a really underutilized strategy. When you're going to go job searching and when you're thinking about putting a CV together, go and talk to your past employers. Go and email them, text them, phone them, and tell them that you're going back into the job market or you're looking to change careers. Would they mind going on as your reference? And would they be interested in meeting up with you? Because you know what? Remember how employers like to hire. They like to hire within someone a colleague recommends or someone that they know. So by getting yourself back into their kind of view, and people love helping people. They'll want to go, oh yes, so-and-so, they're looking for someone. So your past employers, your raving fans, and your references are two really, really powerful tools that you should be using in your CV and in your job hunt. So my Express program goes into all of this in a lot more detail and tells you how to do it. So one thing you can get off the call tonight and do is, if you've got references on your CV, call them up and say, hey, I'm applying for some jobs, and they may call you. Because if you don't do this, the worst thing that could happen for you is that someone could ring your references and they go, Natalie who? And they have to think about who you were and what you did for them. Now look, you think, oh, they wouldn't forget me. I was so perfect, I was so awesome. But people forget, they get busy. So imagine to an employer if they rang up and said, hi, I'm looking for a reference for Natalie Tolliff, and they go, oh yes, Nat, she managed for us 2 years ago. Great, I'd love to give you a reference. That's much better than, oh, hang on, who's that? What position were they? How long were they here for? You need to give them the opportunity to step up and be the best reference for you. So you've got to make sure that you've picked some bloody awesome people, because I've seen it time and time again. You can be shortlisted. There could be 2 of you going for an interview and it's up against 2 of you. It's whoever has the better references. Guys, it comes down to that. So I would be lobster lunch schmoozing my references if I was you. I'm just joking, don't do that. But you need to actually tell them that they're a reference and just have a chat about the job that you did for them and get them excited about the job you're applying for, because on a call with a reference, there's nothing cooler than a reference for someone going, oh, I'm so excited for them. They'll be great at this job. You know, you want that kind of reference. You don't, yeah. Anyway, I'll start to go off track. Okay, so get off tonight and go and make sure your references know that they're on your CV, and that nurture them, give them a bit of guidance of what you want them to say without kind of telling them what to say. Just get them in the loop. But your past employers, if you have a good relationship with them, and you should have a good relationship with them, you should give them a call too and let them know that you're heading back into the job market, that you're wanting to look at some career changing, or you want to talk to them for some advice. This is another way you can network your way in, because remember, how do employers like to hire? They don't like looking at CVs from an online advert. It's the worst thing they hate doing. They would rather look at a warm CV, and a warm CV means that someone's recommended you, that you haven't come cold from the internet, or that you've got a connection. My mum, my dad know your brand. You know, they see that on your CV. Yeah, so create some raving fans. And this is just the first step that you can use in building what I call your circle of influence, which is another name for networking, because that's the other number one way to get a job. As we've seen from the Truth Triangle, is you don't sit online. Get offline and go talk to people. You've got to start networking to get yourself jobs. Okay, so the fourth simple step is you've got to have a strategy. So some of you may have missed the first step, which was mindset, and about battling in your head the story and the beliefs and the barriers you have in your head about what you can and can't accomplish. And that some of us settle in life by building bad habits of bad eating, not exercising, and not growing our brains and wanting to grow and step up. And I'm not saying go and be an extrovert. I'm just saying stop settling. And by realizing where you're holding yourself back and where you're getting resistance from, you'll then be able to start looking at different opportunities and see that you're possibly worthy of more. You know, like if you've done a lot of merchandising in a retail shop, you didn't just stack the damn shelves. You know, you rotated the stock. You handled stock, you were cash handling. You've got to make sure that you represent your skills properly. And that comes from your mindset. If you think, oh, I've just been at home for 5 years now looking after children. I've just been a at-home carer for other people's children. That's huge. That's huge. That you've had some tough clients. I'm not talking the kids, I'm talking the parents. You know, those, you know, I'm a parent of a carer, and I know what I can be like. You know, you've got some great abilities if you've been a stay-at-home mum. So don't ever devalue that. But that again is your mindset and what you lead yourself to believe. Okay, so step 4 is a strategy, right? So with your new knowledge, that you know that you've got to start making sure that you're having beautiful self-talk to yourself, that you are creating new habits by, that was just my husband making noise and made me look over, that you're creating new habits by a gratitude journal, eating well, having an accountability partner, and setting some goals. This is what I want to achieve, and this is how I'm going to go about it. So your strategy starts there, and then it starts with, okay, I'm not getting some results with writing a general CV and sitting on Seek, sitting on Trade Me, and throwing it out there. It's not seem to be working for me. What else can I do? This is called a strategy. And what it means is that I know that if you're in a panic and I've just got to get a job, I've just got to get a job, I've got to go pay some bills. Can you see how my mannerisms there were like, becoming desperate and a bit manic? That's how you're coming across. If that's how it is at the moment for you, you've got to take a step back, take a breath, and think about the best way for you to find a job. And it's through your networks. Circles of influence. Who do you already know? your references, your past employers, your Facebook friends, your mum's auntie, the next barbecues you go to, all of December, I want you to talk to every single person. And when they say to you, what do you do? What are you up to? You tell them what you're doing, what you're up to. Hey, I'm actually just about ready to go back into the workforce. I've been at home with the kids for a few years. I'm really excited. And they might go, hey, what kind of stuff are you into? And you might go, hey, I used to be an air hostess. I'm going back into air hostessing, but I don't really want to fly. I'm not too sure what I'm going to do. And they might go, I own a local travel agency. I'd be keen for you to come in a couple of days a week. You may be thinking that's just a load of hogwashing. You just made that up for the call. It's not. These stories I tell you are damn true. And it starts with your belief in your head. And it starts with talking to people. Remember I told you that we're creating templates. You can't sit behind the computer all the time. You've got to get out and talk. And if you really want something enough and you really want a job that you love enough, you will do whatever you can to get there. Absolutely, without a doubt, you'll do whatever you can to get there. But you can't get there without a plan. You can't get there without a strategy. So that's what the number 4 step is to create a plan, a strategy. This week I'm going to do this to keep moving towards my dream job. So what we went through tonight was you got to get your mindset right. Okay, you got to start listening. Stop listening to the BS you tell yourself in your head you can or can't do, and that job hunting's hard, and that, oh, this really is my dream job, but I don't think I could get it because blah, blah, blah. And start creating some new habits to start moving yourself mentally. Number 2 was the truth triangle, how employers really like to hire. And what we learned is that they don't like to hire how you've probably been job searching. They like to read. Imagine your CV that you have tailored specifically for the job role you've been researching because you've dreamt about it. And they read your CV and you've put in there how you can prove to them that you can solve their problems because you've got a proven history in it. There's a whole nother Q&A call this. Then they will want to read it to you because a colleague's recommended you. And when an employer reads a CV with warm eyes, it's a whole nother book than if they got your CV cold. They read it differently. They interpret it differently. So this is where I'm trying to get, is that, yeah, you can keep slogging and throwing your CV down the other end and you might strike gold, and that's really, really cool. But the fastest and easiest way to get your dream job is to network through your circle of influences down, because we know by proven fact that that's how employers like to hire. So I'm not trying to feed you anything, scammy. This is proof. This is true. And if you know my story, which I didn't want to, tell you all tonight because it was a little bit long, is I recorded a video on it, and I was also in recruitment and had to hire a lot of people, so I know exactly how employers like to hire. So what I'm going to do is jump over to some questions at the moment, because I see a couple of questions come up on the screen. So I'm just going to click on here. Oh, hey, Jaden Jacoby. Jaden's asked a cool question here. If an employer doesn't get back to you after an interview, if you don't get the job, do you think they really care? Interesting question, because it could be a couple of things. The person who's interviewed you isn't the decision maker, and sometimes life can happen in a decision. So what I mean by that is the person who interviewed you, especially if it's a big company, they've got to go through a set of rules and procedures. And if there's a lot of rules and procedures and someone's away for the day, they could put it a day out. So it may be that they just are late getting back to you. They haven't made a decision, and she could have just overestimated when they'd get back to you. So be careful how you interpret the fact that they haven't got back to you yet, if they've said they're going to get back to you at a specific time, because the recruitment process can, let's sleep on it and we'll make a decision Monday. If they've said they're going to get back to you Friday and they haven't, don't take it too personally yet until you actually get the final no. Now, if they don't get back to you and it's been a week later, like a week after they've said they're going to get back to you, and you're like, actually, I don't think they're going to get back to me, then just think about how they'd treat you as an employee. Okay? If someone can't be bothered getting back to you, And I used to do this. I used to get back to every single person who applied for some of the jobs I advertised for, and I used to get hundreds of people. And even though it was a template, I just cursed templates, even though it was a templated email, I would still say thank you for applying, but you didn't make it. So at least you got an answer, because I believe that that's really important. So if they don't get back to you and haven't valued your time, then how would they be to work for? So that's another really interesting point, is that don't just go work for anyone. You've got to make sure, you've got to find out from employees who are also there, you know, what is it like to work for these people? Are they good to you? Do you have a cool end of year party, or do they train you? You know, what's the managers like? Don't make it all about them. It's got to be a little bit about you. Hopefully that answered your question, Jaden. So as I mentioned before, I had a few questions come through this afternoon via email, so I made sure that I answered those questions in most of my script tonight. Oh, cool. Another one's just come down here on chat roll. I've been applying for lots of jobs and getting lots and lots of no's, doing it online. Cool. Okay, cool. Hey, look, thanks, Carol. Thanks for that. Hopefully, I'm pretty sure I've hopefully answered that for you through the call tonight, is that if you're doing something and you're not getting the results you want, stop. And I don't want it to sound like, oh, Nat, you don't seem like you care. If you're not getting the results you want, stop doing that. It means that it's not working. So it means that you've got to think about, you know, if you're seeing a CV online and it's not getting anything, are you sending a cover letter with your CV? Is your CV tailored down to the specifics of the job role? You know, are you telling the employer concisely that you can prove their problems straight away? You know, do they have to guess that you can do the job from day one? You know, you've got to be realistic. If you want to go and be a florist and you've never had anything to do with flowers, what's the likelihood you're going to get that job against someone who's been in floristry for a few years? At some stage, you do have to be realistic. So you've got to make sure that you're actually applying for a job that you can do. So you may have the qualifications that you can do it, but you need to have some proven technical support that you can do it, and a proven record. And I know it's a chicken before the egg kind of scenario, but that's how it works. So unless anyone's got any more questions, I think I will just get straight into telling you about the Express program. Hopefully the button's working. Should be able to go straight into no, technology not working. Okay, so my Express package is about giving you a new perspective. So it's a little bit about what we talked tonight, but it goes way, way more in depth for you in your mindset, the truth triangle, and some practical steps of how you can go about job hunting with this new knowledge. And in this new program, you'll be able to create your ultimate job searching strategy, and you'll be able to define your unique selling point, because it's really, really important that even though you're not a product, and even though you're not a business, you're still unique, and you're still a brand, and you're still special, and you have to be able to show that very quickly when you're interviewing and when you're writing your CV. So this program helps you to do that. But most importantly is it helps you build some confidence, because you will get more understanding of that truth triangle, and you'll get a little bit more understanding about how you can actually start using your networks. So my new program is got a new launch price. It's got 6 modules in it. It's a bonus module with a CV and cover letter template, plus you'll get to join my private Facebook group, where you get to ask lots of questions and I get to answer you in the Facebook group. And it's a special launch price for only $47. So that's a half price. Normally it will be about $97. And that's an online program. So you work at your own pace. You have, you know, you don't get kicked off the program at any time. You can jump on and off. There's downloads, there's worksheets, and it's at your own pace. And you can keep reusing it whenever you need, and you can use it when you're thinking about going into promotions as well. So you'll be able to get this program. It's called Express Yourself, and it's actually on my website. You should be able to click down into it on your that yellow button at the bottom if you're on my Google Hangout page. But of course, technology, I had the page done today and it's not working. But if you jump onto my website and go onto the Express Yourself, and I'll also chuck it up on Facebook tonight because it's my launch night. I'm really, really excited about this product because with this new knowledge and creating some new habits, I know that you can land a job really quickly, but remember, it's not about landing a job to pay your bills. It's landing a job because you've got to do something that you love. And even if it's a job as a stepping stone, as you move through your career, that's cool, as long as you know why you're taking that job and it's not just for the sake of a job and it's actually fulfilling for you. Anyway, team, that's me. If you've got any more questions, please ask me now. Otherwise, email me, Facebook me. But it'd be cool to see you over in the Express private Facebook group if you do decide to purchase the program. I'm going to keep this special running for December because I know everyone's busy doing Christmas presents, so it'd be a cool Christmas present too. Cool online membership site. Anyway, thanks. I enjoyed my first Google Hangout. I did waffle a little bit. Tried to stick to my 4 steps. If you're a little bit confused, then email me natalietolliff@gmail.co.nz. Otherwise, jump over to my page, Catapult Your Career, or catapultyourcareer.co.nz. Peace. Happy weekend. See you later. Bye.